Did you know Bethesda used to make Terminator games? Yep, they made quite a few in the 90s, and today I'm going to review their last game based on the Terminator franchise, called SkyNET, which was released in 1996. It's a first-person shooter that is pretty basic for today's standards, but was pretty innovative for its time. For example, it's one of the first FPS games to use the now standard mouse and keyboard setup, where the mouse controls the camera and the keyboard controls the movement. It also uses the X engine, which is one of the first engines to feature a full 3D perspective with real-time lighting and 3D enemies even before Quake was released. And there are vehicles you can use like the Jeep and the HK Fighter, which is a modified Terminator robot that flies. You play as a resistance fighter in the future that must stop the machines from launching a recovered nuclear weapon. Before each mission, you are given a briefing via a full motion video cutscene with some of the worst acting you'll ever see.
I recommend an all-out offensive on the missile base. Hit them fast and hit them hard. Everything we've got. Casualties will be high.
The game seems pretty easy at first, since the AI can be pretty stupid. If you just stand back far enough, they won't shoot you. So it's easy to just stand back and pick them off. And unlike the movies, the machines can be pretty easy to kill. Like this HK that I take out with 2 shotgun blasts. If the Resistance could do that in the movies, then they would have won the war easily. But don't worry, it does get tough later on when there's way more enemies around, and they surround your ass while you're low on ammo. A lot of the stages won't refill your ammo or health either, so you have to be smart and conserve your ammo instead of just blasting away at everything. Which I found out the hard way. It can make you so frustrated that you just want to shoot the moon. What the hell? Oh, sorry moon. There's also parts inside of buildings where there won't be a lot of room to dodge, but I found a little trick for that too. If you stay on the left side of a wall and wait for the Terminators to come close, they'll stop and you could just peek your head out and hit them with a baton till they explode. Although be careful when they explode, since it can hurt you if you're too close. Then there's the Jeep levels, which at first I didn't like because it was hard to dodge things since you couldn't sidestep like you could on foot. But then later on, when I started running out of ammo, I was glad to get the Jeep since it had unlimited ammo for its mounted laser cannon. The flying level is probably the easiest since the HK had unlimited ammo, but it also had the ability to move in almost any direction you wanted. Kinda felt like playing Descent, but not as good. The atmosphere is pretty cool, and probably resembles the original Future War settings better than the new movie did.
Something has changed.
The music is okay, it's not great but it's not terrible either. The sound effects are good though. Hearing a Terminator move around the corner can be pretty tense, and the explosions are pretty cool. I also seem to hear some Doom sounds like when you get hurt. SkyNET was originally meant to be an expansion for Terminator Future Shock, but eventually ended up being its own standalone game. Because of that, the game is pretty short with only about 8 missions total. One cool thing it does though is let you play Future Shock with the updated SkyNET engine, so you can use 640 by 480 resolution. Originally, Future Shock was only playable in 320 by 200. The high resolution makes a huge difference. Back to the story. So you get assigned as a field op to the command team, where you get missions from John Connor and friends, like Catherine Parker, the hot soldier chick who loves belly shirts, Dick Cheney,
You could call me Bill.
and Kyle Reese.
Skeptic here is Kyle Reese, we think.
I'm not sure which Reese
Yeah,
is
well,
worse, this one
can't
or
be
the one
too
from the
careful around
TV
here.
series.
Anyway,
I'm leaning toward the one on the TV series.
See you at base.
John Connor always seems to be staring at Parker's boobs. I think he's some sort of closet pervert.
And I can reach the silo in
I mean,
half
look at
hour.
this.
Sorry, Major. I need you here. I need you here.
Jeez, get a
Our
room.
only shot. Get in the air.
So anyways, you follow a report about suspicious SkyNET activity which leads you to an old missile base. There you learn of an old nuclear missile known as Hades, essentially the most powerful nuclear weapon ever made. SkyNET plans to launch the missile against the surviving resistance. So you're basically looking for this missile through the whole game until you get to the end where you find it and launch it into the ocean. So what do you get for beating the game? Nothing. You just get this credits video which you could see without having to play the game. What a jip. At least have another FMV with everybody celebrating or something. SkyNET also has multiplayer deathmatch with up to 8 players. You can play as a human or a Terminator. The Terminators supposedly have reduced movement speed, which I don't know, I didn't see it, it seems the same to me. A little more toughness, and the classic red tinted vision with information overlays, which is a nice touch. Another cool thing about the multiplayer is that you can move in and out of vehicles freely, unlike in single player. You can also customize a lot of stuff like how many weapons, items, or vehicles you want to spawn in the stage. It's kind of funny to put so many vehicles that you can't move without bumping into one. Overall, SkyNET is pretty fun and impressive for its time. It's the best Terminator game I've ever played, but considering all the other options that weren't made by Bethesda, that's not really saying much. That's it for my review. Hasta la vista.